So this really is a time of fundamental change in the digital advertising industry. Everybody's talking about it. No one has great answers, but as Nexstar Digital, I believe we actually are very well positioned to weather this. First of all, we've got a lot of scale, which is going to be critical to anybody looking to weather this storm. But we've actually been developing solutions for years to identify and reach audiences without cookies and other identifiers. And now is a really great time for us to really go to market and show some of those opportunities more, especially now that we've grown. We're now almost 100 million uniques a month. And, with a recent acquisition of The Hill and an earlier acquisition of Best Reviews, we just keep getting bigger. And we just launched our new brand, Stellar, which is a portfolio of, advertiser solutions that really help improve performance. And so I think now is just a great time for us as the industry is changing so much. We're really going to the market and letting people know who we are, because many people don't know Nexstar. Despite our size, we joke we're the largest company nobody's ever heard of, but hopefully that won't be for long, because we really have a lot to offer.
Susan, not to get too deep in the weeds or any proprietary information, how are you dealing with identity outside of cookies, or how have you been, and what sort of lessons would you be able to share with us today?
So we've got a portfolio of products that focus less on individual audience identifiers and more on campaign performance. So we take a number of factors. We look at our audience and the traits we see about them. Everybody talks about all cookies going away, but publishers still have identifiers, right? You need to be able to, have a functioning website or app. We use those really to just help inform our overall products. And so we have a series of proprietary algorithms and machine learning models that we use to identify where an advertiser's campaign is going to perform the best. And we are always looking at those both content and audience signals to constantly optimize throughout the life of the campaign for content type as well as media type. So that is something we've been doing for a while, and we keep improving it all the time. And as our audiences and type of content that we have grows, we continue to evolve that platform.
So what is your understanding or view on what addressable media means, and is that still relevant? What does addressability mean in the context of the work that you guys do, and where might that be going?
I think the heart of addressability is reaching the customer that you want. And I think with digital, that's been very ID focused and, the dream of a one-to-one, marketing opportunity. But I don't really believe that's necessary, to reach the right audiences and to have effectiveness in campaigns. If you look at traditional media types, they've never been able to do that and have still maintained effectiveness and, value to their advertisers. And I think a challenge that we and really everyone else in the industry needs to solve for is how to find that value in digital and move away from some of the, habits and tactics that we've been using in a very heavy reliance on these identifier-based targeting and measurement techniques that, sometimes drive campaigns that look great on spreadsheets, but, may not be really leveraging the audiences that some of the digital properties have to offer. So I think that's where, both Nexstar and the entire industry need to be looking, is how do we really maximize our content and audience relationships beyond, the dream of that one-to-one marketing.
Does some of that go back to contextual, sort of the old days of media? We hear a lot about contextual coming up. How does contextual play into this changing landscape?
I mean, contextual is and has been valuable for a lot of purposes. There's traditional contextual and keyword targeting, which is, certainly one way to do it and really great for highly verticalized advertisers. But there's other things that use context that aren't just keyword targeting. And our solutions actually take that into account. We look at a number of factors and, we identify in our solutions content that will perform for a particular campaign. And so it's not based necessarily on a set of keywords, but it is based on, contextual and environmental signals that help us identify what types of content an ad will perform best on. And that's different for every campaign because we are using machine learning to do that, and it's constantly optimizing. So in a way, it's contextual. It relies on those contextual signals, but it's much more advanced than what I think many people have in mind when they think of the old school keyword-based contextual targeting.
Great. And finally, Susan, just some thoughts about, what's ahead for Nexstar in terms of strategy and impact and how you guys are going to operate. I know that there's a lot of movement now and consolidation with the new acquisitions, but what do you hope to see in the next 12 to 18 months?
So, as you noted, we've had acquisitions and we've been growing a lot, and I anticipate that we'll continue to grow and really focus on developing and acquiring really valuable audiences. The most important thing always for any publisher is having great content and having a great relationship with the audience, and deepening those relationships, deepening engagement, improving our user experiences so that both our users and our advertisers get a lot of value out of everything that Nexstar delivers to them. Focus is an underlining focus in all of the things we do, both from traditional product development in terms of the site and app experiences, but also the advertising product development we're doing. We're always looking to find new value, and on the data side, we're doing that through continuing to evolve some of our machine learning algorithms and data sets that we're collecting and modeling to create new opportunities for advertisers.